Hey, North Warfers, this is a special edition, little just behind the scene thing we want to do for you with King of the Hill. They just released their brand new series update for the trailer for the new Hulu season that's coming out supposedly after Comic-Con. So we wanted to jump in and really do a deep dive here because I don't know about Mike, but I've been a huge King of the Hill fan. I'm pretty sure Mike has been.
Yeah, I've always loved King of the Hill. I've actually started rewatching it a bit. Not gonna lie, some of it doesn't hold up. Not because of like content, but just like it doesn't hit like it used to.
No, it's a little different. And like some of the things like that he references that he doesn't like, you're like, internet's happened, stuff has happened now. It's a little different. But
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be kind of the magic and a little bit of like how do they handle this moving into this kind of timeline with Hank. I mean, Hank's a little different. I mean, age-wise, he looks different. So does Peggy. So is Bobby. Bobby's an adult now. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's been at least what 15, 20 years now.
Yeah, close to 20, I believe. But yeah, I mean, Peggy looks not much different, but she definitely looks older. Hank still kind of looks
Similar.
like Hank, maybe a couple more crow's feet here and there, but I mean, and of course Bobby, but I mean, we can't discuss it without actually watching it. So
This
how
is true.
about we
Let's jump into it. Yeah.
check out the trailer? We'll dissect, we'll discuss, and we'll go back and comb through it as well. So go ahead and share screen here. Share, and then here we go.
It's crazy that it's only 40 seconds and they crammed that much into it.
There you have it, folks. August 6th, or August 4th, as you were. Sorry. August 4th is the premiere of what's going on here? Stop playing. Is the premiere of season 14 of King of the Hill. I saw some folks that were a little surprised that it was season 14 and not just
like a reboot.
Yeah, like as a season 1 of a reboot, but I guess that means it's a continuation of the story they were telling already. So, but like you're saying, 43.
There's a lot of fill in the blanks that I think really we're gonna get, especially in this first, I think, couple episodes of season 14. I mean, just that timeline alone. One, Arlen gets snow. I didn't remember them having snow, but it looks like they're having seasons now, and a lot has happened just in the backyard. I mean, the pole's gone. I mean, there's a lot that's changed. Hank and Peggy left.
Yeah, and
I wonder if like when Bobby went away to college, maybe they left.
Well, we were under the impression that, and this is a theory that you and I were kicking around, is they sold the house to help Bobby move. Bobby obviously is a chef in Dallas at this point. And Hank and Peggy just kind of left with him to help him along, but that's not the case. We actually got the synopsis of season 14 from the Variety article, which gave us a bunch of other information that we'll get into real quickly. But the official synopsis is: after years of working a propane job in Saudi Arabia to earn their retirement nest egg, Hank and Peggy Hill return to a changed Arlen, Texas to reconnect with old friends Dale, Boomhauer, and Bill. Meanwhile, Bobby is living his dream as a chef in Dallas and enjoying his 20s with his former classmates Connie, Joseph, and Shane. That last bit's a little weird.
Yeah.
So, and one other little tidbit of information that we did get was Dale Gribble, obviously the voice actor who voiced him through the entire original run of the series, passed away. He was able to record like 3 or 4 episodes, but he has now been replaced by Toby Huss.
Toby Huss, yeah. Huss. So those of you who don't know who he is, he used to do voices on King of the Hill. And he's also, if you're familiar with Pete and Pete, he is already the strongest man in the world. And he's done quite a few other voice acting gigs along the way, especially with like, I believe, Matt Groening shows in general, and a couple other animated shows. So he's still, and he did acting. He's still kind of kicking stuff around, but it'll be interesting to hear his Dale.
Yeah, and specifically for King of the Hill, he was the voice of Khan and Hank's dad.
Yeah. Oh, Cotton.
Cotton. Obviously, Cotton passed away in the original series, so he won't be there.
Mhm.
Khan is obviously there. We saw him in the trailer, or not the trailer,
Yep.
but the opening credits. But just in a quick 43 seconds, what stood out to you?
What stood out to me is it seems like when Hank and Peggy left, and maybe Bobby went with them, it seems like everyone in the neighborhood kind of got a little devastated by that, because you did see Joseph kind of walk away doing one of these and he's crying, so he's not happy that Bobby's left. I didn't see Connie, but I have to rewatch it and see if you see her in there too.
She was there
because they're
Connie
really
were
close.
there in the same thing.
And I'm still curious if they still have some sort of a connection or a romance, if you will, because they always kind of did in the show, but it was kind of like will they, won't they? Because both their dads didn't get along. But it'll be interesting to see that he's still hanging out with them. It just seems like everyone in Arlen who graduated just went to Austin or Dallas, and that's
Dallas,
where they went. And you kind of see that sometimes they leave the small town and go to the big city, and it seems like they're all still hanging out.
Now, given the trailer, it kind of goes in chronological order. We see them as children, we see them kind of growing up, and then to where we are at the end. So there is one section of the trailer that I wanted to bring up, and maybe you can tell me exactly what I'm looking at here, but let me go ahead and share screen again. Share. Okay, I'm gonna scrub through. So obviously we have the classic lineup here.
Cannon starts up.
Let's see. So we transition here. Where am I looking for it?
There's the winter scenes.
There they
are.
So we got obviously Bobby growing up here. Connie and them, everybody kind of waving
over there.
Waving them off. Where exactly? Okay, hold on. Did I pass it already? Oh, I'm just gonna play it from the beginning and I'll stop it when I see it. So obviously we have the children there. Fun thing here, they're fighting.
Yeah, they are fighting.
So
they
I wonder
fought a lot, but I'm curious if it's more than just fighting.
Yeah, I wonder if they end up splitting. Obviously, their little puppy is still there, but we don't see Ladybird. Let's see. Okay, here's the section I wanted to ask you about. There's a kid. Who is this? Is that Bobby?
That's Bobby.
Is it? Because chronologically, that doesn't make sense.
That's Bobby.
Because chronologically...
What if that's high school Bobby?
But now here's my question. That's...
Because he does hunch down and do one of these. So he is tall. He's taller than Hank and Peggy.
Let's see.
And it looks like he's visiting if that's his car.
But that's not his car.
That's her car.
She's putting him in the car. So then who is this? That's not Hank Jr.
No, that's a kid.
Yeah, that's a kid. So whose kid is that? Because Cotton's dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they did have a kid, I think.
Yeah, they had a kid. They had Hank Jr.
And they're still a thing.
Yeah, they're still a thing
John
there.
Redcorn.
Let's see. There's
the Arlen shuttle. That's them leaving.
Yeah,
that means Hank and them went to Saudi Arabia. I wonder if it's during like the Iraq conflict that he goes maybe with the army over there to do Strickland propane stuff.
No, because in the original show they were well past the Gulf War.
Well, I was thinking more after the 9/11 times.
Oh, maybe. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, so there he is. His kids. They're fighting.
Maybe that's him leaving. Like he's gone. Like this is him leaving to go like leave.
I don't know.
That's why I'm thinking it might be high school Bobby. Like you're seeing like, oh, he's actually pretty tall and getting older.
Let's see. And then
that's when they move. That's when they leave.
But if this is being shown in chronological order, which we're led to believe it is, then obviously
it begs the question, did they come back?
Come back from what?
Like maybe after Hank did his thing over in Saudi Arabia, they moved back.
Well, we know that because that's in the synopsis, but
Yeah.
this is clearly, again, if this is shown in chronological order, they haven't left yet. So I
Is
mean,
it
they're in the process of leaving right now.
what? And this is just a thought. What if Hank, they didn't sell the house? They rented the house.
Well, we should know here shortly because I believe there's no sign put out.
So that's what I'm wondering, if maybe they rented it to this guy,
Hmm.
and then after a while they're like, we're just gonna move back, so they keep their house.
Potentially like an Airbnb kind of situation.
Kind of, yeah, but like a long-term renter that eventually they're like, we're coming back, and that's that.
Do we think Peggy went to Saudi Arabia with him?
I would think so. If
Mhm.
not, it'd be an interesting long distance kind of thing, because you
Mhm.
don't know how long Hank was there. If he's looking for his nest egg, he probably did a good stint over there.
I mean, maybe and maybe not because
So if this guy is like a long-term Airbnb renter kind of situation, he just kind of gets brought into the mix anyway with the other guys, and
I
then maybe that
wonder
allows them to come back.
I wonder if he knows them already, or maybe he's already a friend of the Hills, because he doesn't seem put off by any of them. Like he seems like
No,
he
and they
fits
seem
right
fine
in.
with him.
Yeah. And let's see. Maybe I can slow down the footage here, and we can watch it like half speed, playback
Plus,
speed.
he's like there for a good amount of time.
He is, and here we'll watch it in slow down speed, and we'll stop when we need to, or if you see something. Again, in the winter. Now this is interesting. Bill sneezes and coughs. And then immediately after,
The masks come out.
the
We get
masks come
COVID.
on. So this is COVID times, and Bill doesn't show up for the rest of the trailer.
Wonder if Bill has long COVID.
He must have had years long COVID.
Maybe he's someone who went to the hospital.
I've seen some people speculate that he dies. I don't think the show's going to go that dark.
I don't think they'll go that dark either. I think he may have long-term effects.
But how do they play that into the show? I don't know. Obviously, Dale is not wearing the mask. Here's another big surprise. Boomhauer has a wife and kid,
Yep.
which this kid looks like, who's the nerdy fella
Uh-huh.
from
know who
the
you're
original
talking
run?
about.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's the mom of the nerdy kid from the original run, and then now they've gotten
They've
together.
gotten together, maybe.
But if we let this play a little, you see them walking away as a
Mhm.
little family there, which is a little weird because, again, Boomhauer is never one to really be tied down.
No, so something must have changed. And that's just the
That
two of
leaves
them.
these
And then
two
there's this Gribble for
for
mayor.
mayor. So obviously Dale, I don't think he's actually running for mayor because he wants to be a mayor. I think he's wanting to get into a position of power and
Yes, that
push his
sounds
own
more like
little
him.
agenda. But fucking look at Joseph here,
Yep, Joseph's huge.
who I guess Joseph moves back before Bobby does, or maybe Joseph's just visiting home.
Maybe.
Because obviously in the synopsis, we know that Joseph, Connie, Shane, and Bobby all live in Dallas right now.
Yep.
I'll let this play a little more here. Again, this new gentleman here, we don't know who he is. We don't know what's going on.
Then the power line comes down the pole,
Mhm.
but he still puts out the sign.
Puts up a sign. Again, nothing really explaining who this
Which
guy
is weird.
is.
Like a lot of people, I mean, a lot of time has passed and they have not been to the back. Dale's stuck around, but like Boomhauer and Bill have been gone a while. They haven't come back.
No, they have not. And in fact, after we
several cycles.
I was just about to say, we'll go back and watch it again and see just how many winters passed between when they left. And let's see, they leave right around, and then obviously
Coming back, yeah.
back, and then there's our new family.
And even when that guy left, though, the umbrella never changes. So that's why I think it's maybe they rented the house.
Yeah, perhaps. Let's go ahead and watch us back one more time. So we have.
He moved.
I'm just going to count the winters.
Yeah.
There's one
One.
winter, two. I could probably play this at a faster speed, but
We're gonna get to another one real quick. There's a fall. It's another
3,
winter.
4,
5.
5. So that's
So
5 winters. So they've been gone for about 5 years, give or take, roughly.
mm-hmm.
Oh, clearly Peggy. Well, no. I mean, we would assume Peggy went with him, but she
Mm-hmm.
could have also gone and stayed with family.
It also makes me curious too, because like they're coming back with small suitcases.
Yeah.
They're not coming back with a truck. So it's almost like they're just gonna get new stuff and move into their old house.
Or back in, and
Mhm.
I kind of take my thing back. She wouldn't just move in with family. Otherwise, she would just stay home. That wouldn't make
The
sense.
only other alternative I think for Peggy is that she lives with Bobby.
Mm. But then why wouldn't Bobby be here with her right now?
Well, I think she lived with him maybe in Dallas while Hank did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she went and visited him a couple times because I could see her trying to be like, I took in the culture, and be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you didn't, Peggy. But I could see that, and Bobby just being like, instead of her being alone, she can just stay with me, kind of thing.
Mm. So I mean, I don't know. There's so much to pull from the trailer, yet no answered questions. It just leaves us with nothing but questions.
Uh-huh.
Like, who is this new gentleman living in the house? Where did Bill go? Um, uh, is Dale legit trying to run for mayor? Is his relationship with his wife still what it is?
Did he
Um,
become mayor?
did he become mayor? Um, where I'm excited to see what they do at Comic Con. I assume they're going to have some kind of big presence at Comic Con,
I mean, there's
whether
so
it's
many questions. Even like Khan, are they still together? Are they not? Like Boomhauer, how did he meet this person? Why did he get tied down? That's not, as you
Mhm.
said, that's not him. That's not his character. He was like the ladies' man who always was with somebody new.
Yeah, and is Dale now in a throuple? Does he know about John Redcorn and
I feel like
Nancy?
he kind of started figuring it out a little bit, but I
Mhm.
think he was just like, whatever.
Yeah. With Hank's time in Saudi Arabia, has it opened his eyes to new cultures, new beliefs?
Mhm.
Has it made him a little more? I hate the term, but woke.
Yeah,
Um,
I
to
think it may have changed his perspectives a little bit.
mhm. So
I'm
I
really curious how they handle world affairs. A
mhm,
lot has happened, and
mhm,
Hank has always been like a staunch Reagan, Lady Bird, and I don't know where he is anymore. I think that
mhm,
might be part of the show, is him kind of being like, "Where am I now?" Because I
mhm.
don't, because Bobby was never going to be that.
No, I think it's I don't think we'll get the culture clash that everyone's expecting we will between
No, I think it's going to
Bobby.
be Hank is a more subtle, like he still
Mhm,
will have his opinions, and I think he'll still kind of push his agendas what he wants to, but
mhm,
I think we may see a more open-minded Hank.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I can only hope because otherwise, if not, then it's that'll get stale real fast.
I think that they need the conflict. They need that where it's not an outward conflict, but an inward conflict. They need him to be like having those thoughts and be like, "Well, I always grew up thinking that, and like Cotton told me this," and it's like,
Mm.
then he goes over there and they're like, "Well, it's not all bad.
Yeah,
It's like they're
because
not horrible people. It's like
if
I
we're
met
being
good people over there." I can see him like going back and forth,
mhm,
being like looking at the news and like, that's not how they are. Like I was
yeah,
over there. They're nicer than that. They wouldn't do that. And it's like,
I am because I would never think that they would send Hank to Saudi Arabia or that Hank would choose to go to Saudi
nope.
Arabia. So clearly, there's some growth
Something
to be
happened with
had there.
Strickland propane, I think, too.
I'm assuming that I mean maybe he didn't take over, but he's like high up in corporate now because
I
he's
think
not
so.
doing grunt work anymore.
Either Strickland's not a thing and got bought by another company,
Mhm,
and Hank had to go to Saudi Arabia to keep his job,
mhm.
or he was going to lose his pension, all that stuff, and be like, unless you stay here. And he's like, well, I guess I got to do this. Like, I almost feel like Hank would only go if he was forced to go. Like, he didn't have another alternative.
Well, I mean, we know he's a company man, so I feel like somebody played that card and he
And
took it hook, line, and sinker.
he kept in
Um,
line. Yep.
yeah, so he's very much a company man, so I assume he went there um, for the betterment of the company. and ended up staying there for what seems to be 5 years. But at this point, all we know is all the information that was put out today. Everything seems great. The updated animation and artwork looks fantastic.
It does.
I'm excited to see what they do at Comic-Con. We're both kind of assuming there's going to be a panel and some photo ops or some kind of presence at
A
Comic-Con
lot
this
like
year.
if you were there for Beavis and Butthead. I
Yeah.
think it'd be similar to that.
Yeah, so it should be very exciting to see what's going to happen in the next about month and a half. The new series comes out August 4th on Hulu. I assume Disney Plus in all non-American territories,
Yep.
and all 10 episodes will be dropping at once. So
Wow. All right.
I got to assume we're going to probably do a nice deep dive into all 10 episodes. It's
We
not
probably will.
Bob's, but we are big enough fans of King of the Hill that we're definitely going to
We'll
follow
see if
up
we
on
can
this.
maybe make some connections at Comic-Con and see if maybe we can get someone to come on and talk about their time on the new show too.
Yeah. But yeah, until next time, this has been From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your unofficial but verified one-stop destination for bento box information, now covering King of the Hill to an extent. I am Mike.
I'm JB.
And we will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Night, everyone.